Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Saturday Morning Makes. For those of you that are new to my channel, Saturday Morning Makes is an open art collaboration that I've been hosting here on my channel for 2 years. At the end of this month, it'll be 2 full years of doing Saturday Morning Makes with all of you. I call anyone that does Saturday Morning Makes my co-host. I started this as a way of allowing myself an hour or two each week to make art, because we all go to work, we do our jobs, we take care of the family, we cook, we grocery shop, we take care of the yard, we do all the things that we need to do. And I think as women and men and single parents and two-parent families, we all, whether you're retired or whatever your situation is, oftentimes we do not make time for ourselves to do what brings us joy, what is our bliss, the thing that makes us happy, makes our souls smile. And sometimes that might be going out in nature to see a waterfall. Other times it might be creating art. It might be taking a walk. Whatever it is that really, helps to nourish your soul, I guess is what I would say. It's important to do those things at least for an hour or two each week. So Saturday Morning Makes was my way of allowing myself time and inviting all of you to join me in taking some time to create art, which nourishes my soul. And it allows me to share art with all of you, as well as to see all of the things that you're creating, whatever art form you like. It does not have to be paper crafting. I love to crochet. There's lots of different things that I have done over the years, making ornaments, sewing things. I've done many crafts throughout my lifetime. So whatever it is that you like to do, if you want to share it and be a part of Saturday Morning Makes, just take a picture and post it to Instagram or Facebook or social media, and hashtag it SatMornMakes. You can make a video and post it to YouTube or Instagram that way. But just use that hashtag SatMornMakes, and all of us that are part of the community will be visiting your channel and your social media site to see what you're making. And it's a great way to make new friends and just enjoy art with one another. So thank you for coming to my channel today and joining me for Saturday Morning Makes. And I look forward throughout the weekend to coming around and seeing what everybody has been doing. And if I miss your post or I haven't seen it yet, I'll eventually get there, I hope. But if I miss something that you really want me to see, leave me a comment, and I do my best to try and get over to see it as soon as I can, okay? All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. Let's dive right in. So today I am sharing some projects I made with the November Recipe Stamp Club kit from Dianna Marcum and Adornit, okay? And as you know, they operate a recipe stamp club for Dianna Marcum's art over at Adornit, and it is a pre-order system, which means that you order the Recipe Stamp Club, and it's a pre-order, and it will ship once Adornit receives the product and sends it out. So anytime you order for Adornit, just pay attention to when they're saying a product will actually ship versus when you're ordering it, because it's their model is slightly different from an average stamp company who produces product and then does a release and shows it to you, and it ships the next day. With Adornit, you're going to see the product, and then they're going to order it based on your orders. They will then send that to the manufacturer and have it come back to them. And the reason I bring that up is I've had several people message me lately saying I haven't gotten my order, not understanding that when they ordered it, it was a pre-order and it wasn't going to ship the next day. So I just wanted to remind everybody that they operate mostly on pre-orders, and so you really have to pay attention when you're ordering to make sure you understand when the product is going to be received. I know some of you that ordered the gingerbreads thought you were going to have them, way ahead of time for Christmas, and are learning that their shipping dates were different than what you thought. So just be aware of that, and I wanted to bring it up again just to make sure that everybody understands, okay? So this was the November club kit. It is past November now, so you can no longer order this, but I just got my papers in the mail this week, so I had already made my projects, so I haven't used the papers yet, but I have used the beautiful stamps, and I thought I would share them for this week's Saturday Morning Makes. So this is the Recipe Stamp Club stamp set with this adorable hot chocolate snowman. It has these 3 beautiful snowflakes. It has this little wind and snow. It has an adorable little mitten set with little hearts. And then this 3 snowflake stamp. So I love this. This is the main recipe stamp for November. If you ordered the add-on, then you also would see this stamp set. Let me get a piece of paper. I put one here so that I could show this to you. And this is the add-on. It has this adorable little snowman with his little sign, and then it has this little snowflakes for sale that you can put in the sign, and there's little snowflakes in the bucket here. And then it has this adorable snowman hot cocoa, and the hot cocoa steam has little hearts in it. So, so cute. And there's a poinsettia and a holly. So this was really fun to color. And then there's this little snowman that says, "Let it snow." I love this stamp. I had fun with it. And then you have an additional sentiment of "Let it snow" that's a little bit smaller. And you have this little snowman here. Okay. So, so sweet, isn't he? Oh my goodness. I love his little scarf. So anyway, these again are from Adornit.com, Dianna Marcum, and the Recipe Stamp Club. I will put a link to the Recipe Stamp Club if you're not a member yet and you want to join. All the information will be at that link. And again, I cannot stress enough, watch the Stamp It Tuesday videos on Adornit's Facebook page or YouTube channel for all the information. Each month when the recipe stamp is presented, they give you information about shipping and everything. So make sure you watch those videos and take notes if you're going to order so you know when to expect your stamps, okay? So those are the stamp and the add-on. And then really quickly, I'm going to show you the papers and then we'll get to the projects, okay? So you're going to get 2 of this paper. If you ordered the paper, this sweet little snowman paper. On the back side of this is this beautiful blue polka dot. So that's one of the papers. And you get 2 of each. Here's the snowflake pattern in blues with white. And on the back is this tiny micro snowflake print, which I just love. That's my favorite one. I love that type of print. Then we have an all-over snowman print with the mittens and the little snowflake with the heart in the center. And on the back is a lovely stripe. And I love the blues and purplish tones in this. And then this one is kind of an all-over snowflake pattern with wind and snowflakes. And the back side is kind of a pale, I believe it's like a pale purple, but it may be gray, grayish purple. And it's just a snow pattern. So those are all the papers. And again, I was not able to use the papers because I had already completed my projects. This was shipped separately. The stamps shipped first. So I got them in 2 separate orders and I had already made my projects. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I created using those stamps. And I'll start by showing you the tags that I made using the little Let It Snow snowman. And these just turned out so, so cute. Oops. And I paper pieced a couple of them and I colored. So here's the first one I did. I colored it with Copic markers and I just used some browns and some blues. And then this is a copper colored or rose gold colored paper that is foiled, and I die cut a little bird out, and this is the Poppy Stamps whittle dies, and it's a whittle bird die. And then this is the Lily of the Valley Merry Christmas tags. And I love how this turned out. The papers that I used in the background here, these papers are actually from Frantic Stamper, and specifically they are made by Maja Designs, and they are a Swedish company, and Frantic Stamper here in the US carries their paper packs. And so I used some papers from this one and then some from a different paper pack that had blues in it. And all the paper packs, if you look up Maja Designs 6x6 paper pads on Frantic Stamper, they will come up. And so those are the papers that I used to make these tags. And I just think these turned out so cute. Here you can see where I paper pieced it in a plaid and blue. So I used the blue paper and then I used the plaid paper. And I believe the plaid was on the back of the blue. But these just turn out so cute. This die set that I used here, this shaped die set, is the Fancy Frames layer dies from, let me grab them. They're from My Creative Time. So I use the A2 Fancy Frame Layers dies, which has the stitching, and I also use the A2 Fancy Frame dies, which does not have the stitching. And so I used this one, and then I layered the stitched one inside of it. And that's how I got my beautiful tag here. So this tag shape is those two die sets from My Creative Time, okay? And I layered them up, and I cut a 110-pound cardstock from Paper Tray Ink in a navy blue, and then I cut the smaller frame die that's stitched out of the pattern paper on the back and also on the front, and then I cut it again in the blue paper, and I just trimmed a piece of it off, and I put a little stripe with the cardstock, and that's how I created this. And then in the background, I don't know if you can see it, but there's little snowflakes that are impressed into the paper of each of the tags, and that die is a die from Concord and Ninth, and it is item 11457, and it's called the Snowfall Card Front die. Okay, so Concord and Ninth is the name, and this is what the die looks like, and this impresses these little snowflakes into the paper. So just a wonderful die. So I did use that on each one of these, and maybe you can see it better on this one, but there's little snowflakes that are pressed into the paper, and just a really neat die set. So I did use that, and I made all three of these, and I think these turned out so cute. So whether you Copic color it or paper piece it, they're just so fun to play around with. So I had a lot of fun creating these, and I did Blues Pea. I hope you're seeing this. For all of you out there that love blue tags, I thought it would be fun to do some winter blues. So these are for you. All right, so those are the first three projects. And then I wanted to use that hot chocolate, and so I did the hot chocolate to make a winter card. And again, I don't know if you can see it, but I did emboss the snowflake pattern into the blue cardstock here. I colored with my Copic markers this adorable hot chocolate snowman. Diana, I just love this stamp. This is so, so sweet. And I just had fun doing this in red and blue and white, which is a fun color combo. And I loved coloring this and just keeping it really simple. I used some warm grays and some blues and some red. And I used one of Anna White's dies to put a little piece of rickrack going down the side of the card, and then I used an open scallop circle die from Spellbinders that I've had forever to make the background here. And then this die right here is a new purchase for me from Paper Tray Ink. Melissa Phillips, who is one of the designers for Paper Tray Ink, showed these early when they were released on a card, with a card that she was showing. And these are called, does it have a name? They were designed by Jennifer Campbell, and they're called the Layered Snowflakes Drift Dies. So that's the name of them, Layered Snowflakes Drift Dies. And I just fell in love with the shape of these. And when Melissa showed them, they were sitting next to a card that she had made, and I just really loved the shape of the snowflake. So I did use that kind of behind the snowman's head, and then I used it inside the card along with a little piece of paper. This is Anna White's Crazy Stitched die set that I used on the inside, and then I also used the snowflake on the back, and I just cut a piece off of it. So I glued it down, and then I trimmed it with my scissor, and I added a little piece of blue cardstock at the bottom. And then this is a paper from Dianna Marcum's Paper Packs, okay? So that's how this card turned out. This is the Dianna Marcum paper here also. So It's not from the Snowman set though. It's not from the Snowman papers. It's from a different paper pack because I didn't have the Snowman papers when I made the card. So there's that project, and I love how this one turned out. And then I started working with the add-on set, and I made this card using that cute Snowflakes for Snails Snowman. And you can see how that little stamps inside the sign. There's little snowflakes in the bucket, and I did highlight them with some stickles. I added some coloring below his feet just to ground him, and some little snow on there too with the stickles just to make it look like he's standing in the snow. And I love how cute his little face is with the little heart nose, and just his little arms sticking up like he's ready to go, sort of. I thought it would almost be cute if he was hanging on to a row of snowflakes, but I didn't do that. I just left it the way it was drawn. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can see where I added some stickles onto the snowman itself. And I do highlight the snowman with a very pale BG10 marker, so it does kind of give some depth to the snowman itself. And then Dianna Marcum does a really good job of adding stippling dots into the areas that should be shaded. So I use that as my guide. And then these oval dies were just some dies I had in my stash from Paper Tray ink. And these were what fit this the best. And then I used 2 different papers from my scrap bin to create the card front. Inside again, I used that beautiful snowflake from Paper Tray ink, a scrap of that same paper from Dianna Marcum. And then on the back, I have that same Dianna Marcum polka dot paper and a little snowflake to finish the card off. So this just turned out adorable. I love both of these snowmen, and I am sure that I will be coloring them up again very soon because I just had so much fun coloring them. So this is one of my favorite sets because hot chocolate is such a big part of my life during the winter months, and it's just a huge part of my life. With my morning coffee, I always put a little teaspoon of hot chocolate into my coffee and some cinnamon, and it just makes it taste like almost like a little mocha. So I just love anything hot chocolate themed. So I love how both of these cards turned out. And then I had to color up that adorable little hot chocolate snowman. And I did this one in earth tones and with some warm grays. And I just added a little Christmas wishes tag from Lily of the Valley. And I tied it with a piece of lace and some of that sparkle yarn that I just love. And I think this turns out so cute. And I did distress it a little bit and add some red to the hearts in the steam. And then on the back, I added that smaller snowman, and I just distressed a piece of white cardstock so that if I use this as a tag, I can write a note to the person. So the snowman is glued on. I did fussy cut it and glue it on there. And I just think this turned out so sweet with this little sparkly jingle bell too. So those are all of my snowman projects. And I did have, when I was using these papers from Maja Designs, I had a little leftover piece that had this cute Santa on the back of it, and I didn't want him to go to waste. So I used one of Anna White's circle dies to cut that out. And let me grab those just so I can show them to you really quick. They had a big sale at Adornit for Thanksgiving, and they did 25% off their dies. So I invested while they were on sale in this wacky stitched circles die set. It's die 837YY, and it has these beautiful stitching details on the circle here, and then over here it has another set of stitching. And I love these dies that Anna makes. I just think they're so beautiful. So I invested in that, and that is what I used to die cut the circle on here. And so you can see the little stitching here and then over here. And then this cute little Santa was part of the Maja Designs paper. And I made a rosette out of red cardstock, and then I used a blue Spellbinders die, that open scallop Spellbinders circle die, and I put 2 different sizes in between the rosette, and then I glued on my circle with the Santa. And then this is an LOTV DigiShop Merry Christmas tag from their Christmas sentiment set. And then there's a couple little red jingle bells and a piece of torn fabric that is red and white gingham. So I just think this turned out so cute, and I wish I could make a bunch more of the rosettes. I will say this, if you're gonna make a rosette, the 65-pound paper sometimes will rip when you're scoring it. So I recommend 80-pound cardstock for when you're doing rosettes. Don't use 110 because you'll have a hard time folding it. But if you use 80-pound, it works really well. You can do it with a 65-pound, but sometimes you'll end up ripping the paper and having to start over. So that is what I use to make this, and the different layers that I made. Let me just show you the Spellbinders die set. I don't have the name of it, but this is what it looks like. And it's an open scallop set, and there's 4 pieces to it. And I've had mine for like 20 years, I think. A very, very long time. And then I think that's everything. This is the Anna White die set, 797YY, and it's the Crazy Stitch set. And that's the one that I used on the cards on the inside. So that, I think, is everything. And I think these little tags turned out so cute with the little poppy stamps, whittle bird sitting on top of the hat. So these were so fun to make, and I just think they turned out so cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I showed. I do have more to share, but I'm going to do it in a separate video because we're already at 20 minutes. And I'll probably try and film another video this weekend if I can squeeze it in. We're going to be doing some decorating at our house, so I'm not sure how much time I'll have to do another filming, but I will try to do it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed seeing this November Recipe Stamp Club set, and some samples with it. I know that most of you may have already received it, or should be receiving it if you haven't. But I'm very excited to have made some snowman projects finally. I was having kind of withdrawals from using my snowmen, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you soon. And mostly I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's been creating. But again, I understand it is the holiday season, and nothing is more important than decorating your houses, baking, and doing all the things that we do with our families that make the holidays such a special time. Make those memories with your family. That's the most important thing to do at this beautiful, beautiful holy season. And I just wish you all the best. I do not mind at all if nobody uploads, okay? I just create a few minutes here and there throughout the week when I have a minute to spare, because it brings me joy. And then I share what I have on Saturdays. So for those of you that want to continue to participate, go for it. I'll still be out there looking as I have time, and I know many others will also. But if you want to take a break and not create until the new year because you're celebrating the season with your family, I completely understand. It's a busy, busy time. All right. Most importantly, everybody, just take joy in the season, and I'll be back with you again soon. Thank you for watching my video, and I can't wait to see what everybody's been making. Bye now.